Hello, what's up guys? Your guy Promzy once again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to talk about student jobs in Germany. Everything you need to know about student jobs in Germany. If you're ready for this video, stay tuned. Welcome back guys once again. In today's video we are going to talk about jobs that are available for students, and since we are not in normal times, jobs that students can do even during the COVID-19 pandemic. So this video is about student jobs for international students. I don't know how the system works for citizens or German students. This information will be more relevant for international students in Germany. And let me start off by answering some of the questions I received from my subscribers. Can students work while they study in Germany? The answer is yes. Once you're a student in Germany, you are allowed to work 120 full days or 240 half days. Full days, as in when you work for 8 hours, is considered as a full day, full working day. So that means you can work 8 hours for 120 days. But anything 4 hours or less is considered half day. So if you are working and you work for 4 hours or less in a day, you can work for 200 according to the law. The next question I get is, can students exceed this amount of days and hours they've been given? Honestly, the answer should be no. Like, I wouldn't advise any student to exceed this 120 full days or 240 half days. Either than that, you end up having problem with either Finanzamt or Ausländerbehörde, and you don't want to get into problem with the authority. So try as much as possible to make sure that you stick within these 120 full days or 240 half day. And if you are here as a student, the probability of you exceeding these days is highly impossible unless you forget about your school and you focus more. Third question is, can I get a job once I get to Germany? The answer is yes and no at the same time. So international students are given entry visa to come to Germany, and this visa is usually 3 to 6 months. So you use the first month going up and down, doing registration and settling in. If you want to know things you're supposed to do in the first month when you get to Germany, I've done a whole video about that. I'm going to put the link here so that you can go and watch it. So after the first month and you have like 2 months left on your visa, if you are lucky and you get a job, that's good for you. But the problem is, companies are not allowed to give contracts more than the amount of days you have on your resident permit or in your visa. That means in your case, the company will be obliged to employ you for only 2 months or 3, and afterwards, when you get your resident permit, they will extend the visa for you, which is kind of a lot of paperwork. So mostly the company recommend that you extend your visa and get a resident permit, then you come and take the job. So the answer is yes and no, depending on the company. If the company is desperate looking for students or employees, then they will have no other option to take you and give you a short-term contract that's a month or 2. And after you renew your visa to a year or 2, they are going to extend your contract for you. One other question I get the most is, do I need the language in order to look for a job? So I always say the official language in Germany is German. So once you have control over the language, you have a lot of opportunities, and it also includes student jobs. But there are a lot of jobs for students that you don't have to master the language before you do it. I know a lot of students who have no knowledge in German but still secure themselves some student job. You can secure yourself a job without having any knowledge in the German language, but having control over the language will give you a lot of opportunities. So the next question I get a lot is regarding taxes, whether students pay taxes or they are tax-free for students. In Germany, there are 3 types of jobs system. I don't know how to put it. Because if you're studying in school and you're a full-time worker, it will be very, very difficult for you to combine your studies with the work. So mostly the full-time jobs are available for students, short contracts, 2 or 3 months during vacation. We have the mini job, the part-time job, and the full-time job. That is neighboring job, tight, and full tight. If a student goes in for a mini job, with mini job, the basic amount they pay is 450 euros. With that amount, students don't pay taxes on it. So the part-time job, students work 20 hours a week, and in a month is 80 hours in a month. they will end up earning more than this 450 euros. That means even if you earn a cent more than the 450 euros, you are going to pay tax on it. For the students, we are in tax class 1. In fact, the tax system in Germany is very complicated, and I'm not an expert, but I know students are in tax class 1. That is, they don't pay a lot of tax compared to other people in tax class 6 and other tax classes. So if you are earning more than this 450 euros, you are going to pay taxes. And I don't know the percentage per se, but at the end of the year, take your pay slip and go to the finance arm and go and do tax clearing. So if they tax you more than what you're supposed to pay, they give you back your money. And if they tax you less, then you give them back your money. I advise everyone to do the tax clearing because most of the time students get a lot of money from the system than the system taking money from them. So the third form of job you have for students is full-time job. Full-time job, that means you are being employed as a full-time worker, mostly during vacations. What jobs are available for students in Germany? And where can you find these jobs? So I'm going to give you some recommendation. In fact, I can't state it all. So if you are watching this video, an international student, and you know some other jobs I didn't mention, please put them in the comment section below so that people can know the other types of works that are available in Germany. So the first one I will recommend is heavy jobs. Heavy jobs are like research assistants, when students work with their professors. In Ghana, I think it works like a TA system. So I think the heavy job is one of the best jobs for students because it doesn't put a lot of stress on the student, and since it's on campus and your course related, it actually helps you academically than working in a restaurant or in a production firm, which has nothing to do with your studies. So one other job for students is restaurant, working in a restaurant. I once worked in a restaurant and I think it's the best job I've worked in Germany so far. And with the restaurant job, with most of the restaurant, before they accept you, you have to do Gesundheit. You have to have Gesundheit Erzeugnis, like it's this one-day course you do with the Gesundheitsamt in your state or your city. Basically about hygiene. You can't keep your nails when you work at the kitchen. You can't have long hair. You have to cover your hair. So if you want to work at the restaurant, with most, they request that you bring Gesundheit Erzeugnis. With the restaurant, you can work with KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, Subway. There are a lot of options for students to work at the restaurant. But working at the restaurant, you have a little bit control over the language because if you're a waiter or a waitress, you can be speaking only English. A little bit A2, B1, you are good to go. Third option is delivery jobs. So delivery jobs, we have some delivery companies that do deliver food to customers. You know what delivery job is. And if you have a driving license in Germany, like, you are good to go because most of these delivery jobs request that you have a driving license. And if you don't drive, you can't ride a motor. So if you don't drive and you can't ride a motor, with some of the jobs you can use bicycles. So you get the bicycle, either your personal bicycle or from the restaurant you are working for. And this is another good option for students to find a student job. So another option where a lot of students work is the delivery services. I'm talking about the logistic companies. We have the DHL, we have Deutsche Post, we have JLS, we have Amazon. These companies are always looking for students. So this is one option students can go in for. And during this pandemic, where the government is telling everyone to be inside, but people are still ordering food and product, the market for these logistic companies have shut up and they're always looking for students. So if you come to Germany during this pandemic and you really want to secure yourself a job, I advise you go in for this logistics company, and there's like 90% chance that they are going to accept you because they are still looking for. I hope you're enjoying the video you are watching, and if you like the content, you can support my channel by hitting the subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up. Let's get back to it. Where can students get information about jobs and how can they apply for jobs when they come to Germany? I'm going to put some website in my description below because I learned it's very, very helpful for some students. For me personally, it's the worst way to search for jobs in Germany. When I came to Germany, the first month or two when I was looking for a job, I used this website and it wasn't helpful. It wasn't very helpful for me, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't be helpful for you. I'll put the links in the description below. For me personally, if you come to Germany and want to secure yourself a job very fast, I advise you apply through job agencies. So these job agencies are like third parties that look for jobs for companies. So you apply to these job agencies, and if there are vacancy for jobs, which there are like always vacancy for jobs in Germany, they will link you up and you work for the company through the agency. As in, the agency will pay you. They will take some amount of money, but you are not going to fall below the normal wage student earn. That's between 10 euro or 15 euro, depending on the company you are working for. One other way students can look for job is by reading notices on campus. On notice board on campus, you see that people are looking for either student to help babysit or to teach their kids English or French if you are a native speaker, and these are some other ways you can secure yourself a job in Germany. So I've worked in 3 different jobs ever since I moved to Germany. I don't like changing jobs a lot, and with all the jobs I've gotten so far, it was through referral. When you move into a city or when you come to Germany, I advise you let people know that you are looking for a job. If I know they are looking for a job and there's a vacancy in my workplace, I will inform you or tell my boss. Since you're a student and you meet all the requirements already, I'm talking about documentation, you are most likely to be accepted. So I think referral still works. So if you come to, especially if you move to a new city, don't stick only to the website to look for job. Talk to people that you're looking for job, and you are most likely to get a referral from one of your student friends. Guys, you should know that we are not in normal time. The pandemic has caused a lot of harm economically to almost every country, in Germany inclusive. So looking for job during the pandemic is not easy, but if you come to Germany during the pandemic and you want to look for a job, like I said before, you can consider the logistic field or the production field. These industries have not been hit massively by the pandemic and they are still recruiting a lot of students. However, if you come to Germany and you are able to secure yourself a job because of the pandemic, the government has made a system available to provide loan for international students during this pandemic. So I will do a separate video about it and put the link in the description or up here so that you can watch that video and know how to go about it. Guys, we've come to the end of this video. So for sticking to the end of this video, I have a bonus option for you, and that is parent job. Parent jobs are like special form of jobs available for students during their vacation. As in during summer vacation or winter vacation, as in Christmas holidays. Permanent workers in these companies take holidays or take leave. They want to travel to other country or spend time with their family. And for we students, it becomes like opportunity for us to fill these spaces. So if you move into a city, find out if there's a parent job, like a very good parent job in that city. If there is, then you have to find ways to plan your working hours so that you don't exhaust all your working hours working with company that will pay you like 10 euro per hour, but rather save these hours for these parent jobs. One of the parent jobs I know, one of the best parent jobs I know in Germany so far is Mercedes in Bremen, Volkswagen in Sachsen, Zwickau. We also have Amazon. They offer parent jobs, and with Amazon it's like it's scattered. We have Frankfurt, Hamburg, Hanover, we have Dortmund, and I wouldn't know it all. So once you move into a city, find out if there's any parent job. And most of the times you wouldn't get a parent job in your city, but students travel across the country to another city, stay there for that period of time, work and get huge amount of money that can sustain them like half a year or a whole year. Guys, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you find this video very educative and informative. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. Like always, the name is Promzy and I'm signing out. Peace.